First of all, Faith of Dan Shand, well, hereafter, well, actually the sequel to the 2017 original game, well, Faith of Dan Shand, obviously turn-based RPG, came our way once again with the news that it'll be coming to pretty much every single console and PCs except Switch somewhere between mid to late next year. Hereafter over here is actually built in Unreal Engine 4. It is said to be maybe shift gear in the future and use Unreal Engine 5 instead. It is right now the second biggest game project out of China, and this time around actually an action RPG. Check it out in case you missed it.
Let her go! Come out from the fog and show yourself!
So anxious for this little thing. She truly is very appetizing.
Demon! I'm gonna burn you to ashes!
Dad! Dad!
Yeah!
Nice move. Now it's time to make it personal. Die!
Return my daughter!
Your sword. A sacred sword? Oh, an ancient bloodline. How fortunate I am. A powerful man's flesh is the most delicious food.
About 4 to 5 days ago, this brand new studio, just out of nowhere going by Euclidean something, came up with a, well, what we believe to be a story-focused, Souls-like action RPG going by Nazraleth, The Fallen World. Probably taking quite a bit of inspiration from Dark Souls, specifically 3. Here's hoping it'll all deliver somehow. Guess we'll just wait and find out. Let's take a look. This game's actually said to be coming to PCs only sometime next year. Coming up at number 3, we have the fine folks behind PUBG, company going by Tencent Games, which is and was one of the biggest video game publishers in the world, not too long ago apparently teamed up with another studio and eventually came up with Honor of Kings World. This is an RPG open world spin-off of the mobile game Honor of Kings, obviously, and on its way to consoles and PCs, this is how the game actually looks like. However, unfortunately, the companies are yet to confirm a release window for this game, so just keep it in mind.
这一切的源头，还是在那个地方。长安，久违了。
I'm gonna go ahead and say exactly what I did say last month, and if you didn't know, well, Elden Ring did break the sales charts record this year. What I'm getting at though is that what if From Software decided to make a Pinocchio Souls-like game? The answer to that question would be what we have here, Lies of P, a Souls-like action RPG in which you get to play as Pinocchio. Check it out. Lies of P now doesn't have a release date yet. We do know it'll be released on PCs in the next generation of consoles and possibly due out next year. Check it out in case you missed it.
But their lies intoxicated you. You burned our homes and slaughtered our families.
On the other hand, we have by the same publishers of some of the great games in the making right now, such as The Lord of the Rings Gollum, and well, there's a lot more. But here we have from the same company some new game called Hell Is Us. Well, what looks to be a third-person action-adventure game built using Unreal Engine 5, or so they say. This one over here is actually its debut trailer. This game's said to be coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. Check it out.
际会走到一起，怀着各不相同的目的。你欲成前人未竟之业，修功德圆满。
At number 6, it's Black Myth Wukong, one of the first games that was announced earlier this year to be using Unreal Engine 5 instead of 4. This Chinese game is actually the biggest project in the making out of the whole Eastern region, especially when it comes to Souls action RPGs. This game is said and, well, numerously rumored to be coming out mid to late 2023 and into the next generation of consoles only, in addition to PCs. Check it out in case you missed it. Team 17, on the other hand, actually no more than a couple of months ago came out with the announcement that Thymesia, which was set to hit the market December last year, is now set to finally come out on the 9th of August into PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, to accompany that news, they also released another trailer. This is it. The game itself, in case you're wondering, is an action RPG, Souls inspired, and once set in a world infested with plague. Personally, I actually have high hopes for this game.
快回家去了。但是 demo 没有这么快结束，因为我还想做更多的 BOSS 跟流程给大家玩体验这个游戏。继续往后推，到这边是一个过程的话，大家不用太在意。
A Rise of Awakener, for those of you new, what we got here is a single-player, supposedly open-world action RPG. A game set in a fantasy world based upon medieval times in Europe. Now, see, this project actually came our way during a Tokyo Games show, where its developers admitted that the game is heavily inspired by games such as Dragon's Dogma. What we do know is that the game is due out next year, possibly early next year, and coming to PCs, PlayStation 5, and 4 only. Check it out.
我觉得这一感觉真的是很爽。如果有幸能够抽到试玩的玩家的话，一定要用战士体验一下这种无双的快感。打完骷髅兵之后，下一步我们就可以来开小房间的门。那这门里面呢，一定是充满惊喜的，那就是我们最终的 BOSS 战了。你冷笑什么？其实还不是挨揍的份吗？哦呦，操！这个锁链我每次来都会被他吓到，因为被拉住的话，就会往他的方向被拉过去。
On the other hand, we have Bleak Faith Forsaken, actually one of the longest awaited Souls-likes in the making. Personally, I've actually been waiting for a long time to hear more about this one. You can actually find Bleak Faith Forsaken on its official website and on Steam. This game's set to come out to PCs, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in about a few months from now here. In case you should know, this game is also an open world, probably a lot in the same vein as Elden Ring. Check it out. Project M, on the other hand, is, well, one of those Souls-like projects that I've been looking out to hear more about, specifically lately, since it's been really well received out there because of the way it actually looks. However, regardless of all the word out there, there's been no actual update for the game. We do know it is coming to both generation of consoles and PCs. It's being developed by a South Korean developer who's described it as a Souls-like action RPG at its core. Check it out. Alright guys, up next we have Steel Rising, which is right now one of the most awaited Souls-like IPs to actually come out this year, putting you in an alternative history of Paris 200 years ago, where this King Louis XVI won the French war using his army of androids. One of these androids then happens to be you, waking up and all that, going against the whole madness wherever it actually started. Check it out. Steel Rising is set to release September 8th and on its way to to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and also PCs.
Your mission is to go to the mining station in Revion Prime.
Coming up behind that, we have what a few of you here I believe to be familiar with going by. Dolmen, a science fiction based action RPG with elements of a horror game and Souls-like. Interestingly, this game is also touted as a Souls-like and inspired by Dead Space. There's more. Dolmen's actually been in the works for more than 3 years now, but a few weeks ago we finally got a release date of May 20th, 2022 for the game, and to accompany that, folks at the company also came up with a brand new trailer. Yes. Moving on, we have Necrovital, definitely a Dark Souls inspired project at its core, and it seems like the potential is actually there with this thing. Nothing much to say though, the trailer over here kind of says it all. We know it's coming to PCs and the PlayStation consoles possibly later this year.
Are you still haunted by the blood mist of that orc raid? Father's face behind gnashing orc teeth? Or Ma wailing? Our wicked caravan of twisted, thirsting flesh and thorn metal chains?
Now, I can't really remember the last time I mentioned this one, but Project Dark Grey is also one of the indie games in the making that's worth a mention, I would assume, which is, as you could tell, mainly an action game, but probably with a dash of storytelling and adventure elements. On top of that, well, obviously, the Souls-like. Think about this as though all we know is that the folks at the company are trying to bring the project to Steam, but an update regarding of which is still to come our way, so just keep it in mind.
Forget me and return to where orc is only a nightmare. A harrowing memory.
But they didn't expect from him to fight back. He will face many challenges, but there's one they fear.
And last but not least, we have what goes by Lonely Knight. This is an action-adventure Souls-inspired project that came our way precisely a month ago. It is actually available now on Steam for the price of only $5. Definitely worth the price. Why? This game is made by a single person, and it is even sitting there with mostly positive reviews as well, so it kind of might just be good. I don't know. Take a look, and if that's your thing, give it a shot.
There has been no news of his wife for weeks. They say she's still out there somewhere far, far away. They say she will never come home again. the defeat was merely delay.